I have Lydia Hollis, a talented upcoming star. She is very talented, and I can't wait for you to meet her. If you don't wear shoes.
Yeah.
Well, if we'll wear the same level of shoes.
Right. Today I've got on these high boots.
You're all over the internet.
I am. Mm-hmm.
Do you know how many sites you're on?
I've lost count. I've lost count.
Any kind of music thing, you're there.
I'm there. Yep. I'm on Spotify, TikTok,
Spotify.
Instagram, YouTube. You name it, I'm probably on it.
Well, I counted at least 15.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Do you have somebody that manages that, or you? Because that's complicated.
It is. Up until this point, I've pretty much managed every bit of it. And I started out with 0 followers, and now I'm at 500,000 followers.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Over all the platforms, if you count them all?
If you count, so my main following is on TikTok, and then Instagram. Add that together is 500,000.
Not counting.
Not counting
Facebook,
YouTube, anything like that. Mm-hmm.
What about Rumble?
I'm not on Rumble. I'm not on that one. But yeah,
A lot of people are going to Rumble.
A lot of people are. Well, then I'll probably at some point I'll probably be on there.
But wouldn't you have to manage all of them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, honestly it's like a second full-time job.
Just managing.
Just managing social media. Yep.
So somebody could message you.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody like some producer or something
Mm-hmm.
could message you and you'd miss it because you'd think it's just a scam or whatever, right?
Right, and you get so many messages on social media, and sometimes things get buried. But I'll never forget, I was 14, and a record label was interested in me in Nashville. But their only holdup with me is that I didn't have a social media following. And they said, if you had that, then we'd definitely be interested because we like your music, we like you. But we're looking for somebody that already has like a following and a fan base type of thing. So I thought from that point on, I was like, I'm going to grow my social media. So it's been a gradual process, but it's worked out.
What would you say is your secret to getting followers? They're just growing organically?
They are growing organically. I think, because I ask myself the same thing every day. I'm like, why do people like me enough to follow me, especially 500,000 people? But I think what it is I'm just myself on social media, and I'll post my music on there. I'll do talking videos, and just like you and me talking right now, I do that on my social media. So I think these people that follow me feel like they've gotten to know me, and I've kind of gotten to know a lot of them as well. So I think that's helped a lot.
Now, you really can't make any money like that, just getting followers. It's just that it gets a fan base, I guess, right?
So I do get paid through the certain social media platforms that I'm on. So the more following that you have on there, the more engagement you have on there, the more you get paid. So that's why I say it's pretty much like a second full-time job. I mean, I'm getting paid to do that as well.
So it's okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You work somewhere else right now?
I do. I work at Tri-State Exhibition Center.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yep.
I keep forgetting that.
I know.
Who is it over there? Todd? What's that guy's name that runs the place?
Craig Thompson is the...
Before him.
Mac Hess. Mac Hess, yep.
Well, he was a great guy, wasn't he?
Yep.
See, I was with Max Everhart.
Okay.
When Max... Did you know I knew Max?
No, I didn't know that.
I knew him like a book.
Oh, that's awesome.
Great guy.
I've heard lots of good things.
Did you know him?
I didn't know him, unfortunately.
We missed out, but I remember when I rode with him over to that empty field, and Mac was there. I built the restrooms.
Okay.
Yeah, for Max there.
Yeah.
Had to do it for no money or whatever, but it was a good cause.
Yeah.
Now they have and I was at the Aquarian.
Equestrian.
Yeah.
Yep.
When they didn't they name they had a benefit for Max, wasn't there?
I think they did. Mm-hmm.
So I was there.
You were there for that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something funny. I'd been trying to find this guy for like months. It just dawned on me, and I couldn't get a hold of him. Looked everywhere. Well, anyway, I had to go to that thing they had at the Tri-State exhibition, and had the banquet and the dinner and everything. And so we're leaving. It's so funny. So we're leaving, and we're all standing in line and waiting for them to come and pick up our car, because they had the I think it was either the Lions Club or some club, might have been the Knights of Columbus, was going to pick up people's cars for a donation for the thing. So anyway, so I handed my key to the guy, or my ticket, and he goes, gets the car, and I came back, and the guy handed me keys and says, "Here's your keys, Dee." And it was that guy that I'd been looking for.
Oh, really? What are the chances?
Yeah, I said, "John," I said, "I've been trying to find you for..." What are the odds?
What are the odds? I mean, that's funny.
I looked everywhere for him, and he'd
right
handed me my keys.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Yeah, Tri-State Exhibition Center is a great place, and their Therapeutic Writing Center as well is awesome. That's how I started out over there. I was a regular volunteer with their Therapeutic program.
What is it about horses that are therapeutic to people?
I have no idea. Have you ever been around horses?
Yeah. I used to. Friend of mine, this guy used to pay us to, quote, break the horses. Do you ever know Steve Kirby? I guess you
I don't know. So you used to break horses?
I went with him 10 or 12 different times.
Wow,
I mean, really.
Awesome.
But I never saw any calm horses.
Okay, yeah. Well, the horses at the Therapeutic Center are very calm. And it's awesome to watch, these kids come in there, and I don't even know how to describe it. You would just have to watch it. These horses almost can sense, that these children have, some type of disability, and
I've heard that.
Yeah, it's amazing how these horses help these kids. It's really awesome to watch.
So it calms the kids down?
It does.
Because they have anxiety?
Just a number of things going on with them. It doesn't really matter. I mean, there's a little boy, I'm not going to say his name, but he has a disability called Alexander's disease, and it's where children usually live to be about 8 years old, and then that's pretty much their lifespan. Their body just starts to shut down. So he comes in there every week, and every time he sees me, he'll squat and point his finger guns and say, "There's my little lady." But as soon as he gets on that horse, it just changes his whole demeanor, and he just is calm, and the horses are just great with him.
Boy, that's hard to figure out why.
I don't know, but I'm glad that it does, because it's a great thing for those kids, a great avenue and therapy for them.
When you get there, do you have to saddle up the horses, or somebody already done that?
I don't have to do that. I handle their marketing over there, marketing and fundraising and grant writing. So I don't do any of the saddling or anything like that. But if they needed me to, I'm available to help.
So you help write the grants?
I do.
Isn't that complicated?
Yes. Yes, it is. And I did not know how complicated it was until I started doing it. There's a lot that goes into it.
It's almost impossible.
It
makes you wonder how anybody ever gets anything through.
Yes. I know. It's the longest process, but we actually just got a pretty big grant not that long ago, so that's exciting.
Do they have stipulations on the money and stuff?
A little bit. Yep.
Is it a lot of money?
It was a big amount of money, yes.
Like 200,000 or 50,000?
It was a 250,000.
Golly.
250,000. Yep. And it's going towards. We are building 2 new arenas out there. One of them is going to be a livestock arena, so we can do a lot more like livestock shows, which we've never been able to do out there. And then we're building new barns, and so it's just going to expand and bring a lot more to the community.
Well, it's pretty big now. People don't realize how big it is.
They don't. You know, when I first started working there, I would mention, you know, because when I first started working there, I joined Rotary, Kiwanis, the Chamber, all those clubs, and I would go there and I would tell them, you know, hey, I'm Lydia from Tri-State, and a lot of them were like, never heard of Tri-State. Where is that? What do you do out there? And a lot. I wish everybody knew about. That's what I'm working on, trying to get the word out about Tri-State, because
it's a good thing. It's a really good thing.
It is.
Now the Key Waller, she's big into that, right?
Yeah.
Jordy,
yeah, he's the president over there at Tri-State. Yeah. They're awesome.
He's a good friend of mine.
He's great. They're great people.
And Bess Neal, did you know her?
I didn't know her.
I knew her.
Did you?
Yeah. Yeah. Margot.
Yeah. You
Margot's
know everybody.
sister.
Uh-huh.
So it's a small world.
Yeah.
But there's a lot going on out there. In the summer, if you go and they have that guy that does the grilled corn.
Mm.
You know, when I know at the events.
Oh yes. Mhm.
You know, he'll I guess it's grilled. What is it, Gwen? Grilled corn?
Yeah.
But
street corn.
what do you call
corn.
it? Street corn. Anyway, it's good.
Street corn is really good.
I mean, he just sells out.
Yeah. Yeah. We got lots of cool things out there. Rodeos. You like rodeos?
Yeah, I like to watch the. For some reason, I like the where they had the carriage and the girls ride the carriage.
Oh yeah, okay.
Because that's harder than I'm thinking. That's harder than it looks.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Definitely.
I don't know what you call the event.
Either I know what you're talking about. I can't think of it off the top of my head.
But they sit real straight and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yep. See, I think I would have a hard time doing that. I would love to get into like barrel racing, and I love the rodeo aspect of
the scene.
What
about the cowboys?
Yes, cowboys. Yes, that's more my speed right there.
Now, why is that?
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, because it's not like they're pretty boys.
It's not like no, they're country boys. That's
cowboy boots and Copenhagen.
Not afraid to get dirty. Yep.
Is that what it is? Not afraid to get dirty?
I don't know. I mean,
they could fix it if they had to.
Yes,
that sort of attitude.
Right. Yes. We like that.
They don't call the police. They call family.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's great. You should come out to the.
I've been several times, but you know, it's always on a Saturday night or something. But it's really going to be big. I mean, it's just beginning of what they're going to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, now in singing, you were from Franklin or from here?
So I grew up in Franklin, Tennessee, and I moved here about 6 years ago. Oh. My mama is from here. She grew up here, so a lot of our family lives in Cleveland. And my 2 younger siblings both have special needs. They were both born with Down syndrome. My little sister, Hope, is biological, and then we adopted my little brother. And we moved back here because we wanted to be closer to family, to have that support system. So that's why I'm here. I love Cleveland.
How old is she?
Who, my little sister?
Yeah.
She is 17.
17.
Yes, and they are the light of my life. I love those kids more than anything. They're the sweetest things. My little sister Hope, she's been through 3 open heart surgeries, stomach surgery, and we just found out that she's gonna have another one coming up here pretty soon. So, but she and my little brother, they're actually the reason why, you know, I think I do what I do in life, like especially with music. They're my inspiration.
Do they make you work harder?
They make you realize what's important in life, for sure. And I think I realized that, you know, they're both nonverbal as well.
Well, now, what you mean? They don't talk at all? None?
None.
Zero?
So neither one of them have any speech.
Now, why is that?
You know, it's
They don't have the vocal cords, or
they
just
don't.
haven't
It's
started?
just something with the wiring in the brain.
So they've
has-
got it. They just
They've got it. So they are fully aware and they understand everything. They just can't verbally process
get it out.
which can be extremely frustrating for them. So you have to, like, growing up, of course that's been my whole life, like I grew up with that, but you have to almost like think for them and kind of know what they need and what they want just based off of their actions or kind of what they're doing. But I think with the music aspect, you know, music is a universal language. And I noticed whenever I would start playing music, they would almost like come to life in a certain way, and I connected with them on another level, and that's where my love for music came from.
Did they go to the tri-state? Is that how you got the connection there?
No, so they don't go to Tri-State Therapeutic right now. Hope has something wrong with her neck, so the doctors are a little leery of her doing anything like that. We're working into it. And then my little brother Charlie is like, he's too small right now to get on a horse.
How old is he?
He's 14, but he's 14, but he wears the size of a 7 toddler. Like he's small. He's a small little guy. So eventually he'll be put on a horse.
Do you think there's any neurological stuff that they'll come up with that will cure that, or is it just different? Just like I'm right-handed and they're left-handed. It's just different.
You know, I don't know, but it's funny when you think about it, because, you know, people have asked me, you know, if there was a cure out there to help your siblings, would you want that for them? And honestly, I wouldn't, because they are who they are and they're perfect the way that they are. And I think individuals like my siblings are what make the world a brighter and happier place. They keep us grounded.
Do they have any special gifts that are really extraordinary? Because some of them do, right?
Some of them do. My little sister, she's a great ball player. She's got the best hand-eye coordination, I mean, out of anybody in our family. She's great, but a lot of them do have, like, amazing talents and gifts.
Have you explored that with her more? It's something else, like musical instruments, or?
Yeah, I've tried her. I've tried, like, I put her, like, the guitar on her and, like, try to get her to play some. And she's getting there. She'll mess around on it. But they're just awesome in their own way.
They can hear good.
They can. They can hear good, see good, you know.
Are you a member of any organizations that help people like that besides Tri-State?
Yeah, so have you ever heard of Best Buddies organization?
No.
It's an organization that pairs, like they would pair you with someone your age that has a intellectual or physical disability, and then y'all would become friends and y'all would like go out and do things together. And what it's supposed to do is just show other people that, you know, there can be friendships and bonds between somebody like you and somebody with a disability, and that there's nothing to be afraid of, or, you know, they're just like us.
Yeah, I've never had a problem with thinking different. Some people do, though.
Some people do.
But I've just never had a problem. Some of my best friends are weirdos.
Yeah, I always tell people, you know, we're more alike than different. I mean, we're all different. Like, we all have our own things.
Yeah.
You just gotta love people for who they are and accept them. Yeah.
So your mother, Melanie Miller, she went to Bradley High School.
She did.
I guess I remember her, but her being a couple years younger than me, maybe I wouldn't.
Maybe you wouldn't. Yep. She was a cheerleader over there. I don't know. I feel like if you knew her, you wouldn't forget her, because I think she had a big personality. But
Where did she go to junior high?
Oh gosh,
Like Bradley Jr. or Truett or something? Was she
Off
here
the top
her whole life?
she was here her whole life. Off the top of my head, I can't think of it. I'll have to ask her though. Where did you go? To?
I went about everywhere.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I went to, you name it, and I was
You were there.
Are you related to Tyler Hollis from Chattanooga?
I don't think so.
He's a banker.
Is he?
Yeah.
I don't know, but maybe. I don't know.
So your last name's Hollis.
It is. Mm-hmm.
And your mother's Miller.
Miller. Mm-hmm.
And you've not been married.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh,
right?
no. No, people are like, you know, why is somebody like you, you know, still single? But I just think something's wrong with the boys here in town. I think, you know, I tell people, I'm like, my requirements aren't that much. You just have to be nice, you know, nice to me, be able to cook, because I like to eat. So you got to be able to cook.
What's your favorite thing to eat?
My favorite thing
Yeah.
to eat? Oh, my goodness, fried chicken.
With lemon pepper or
Oh,
barbecue
that sounds
or
good.
what?
It doesn't matter. I mean,
Just chicken, fried
without-
chicken.
Fried chicken, gravy.
Who's got the best fried chicken in Cleveland?
Oh, that's tough. Best fried chicken in Cleveland. I don't know.
Old
That's
Fort's
tough one.
pretty good.
Old Fort's pretty good.
Have you eaten there
Like,
much?
yes, it is good.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty dang good.
If you put it side by side with the others, it's pretty
It's
good.
pretty good. Yeah. Yeah.
But now, I don't know, like Bojangles and places like that. That's really not the same thing. I mean, it's fried. It's chicken.
It's
but
chicken. It's
not,
fried, but it's
But it's not fried chicken. If that
not
makes
the
sense.
same. Yeah. Yeah, I like the fresh, like homemade
just
fried
different.
chicken. Mhm.
Hot slaw.
Yeah. Hot sauce.
Little hot slaw.
Mhm. Yeah.
So let me ask you this: do you think now one of your things is you also ran?
Mhm.
You were in the Miss Tennessee pageant.
I was. Yes.
How many years ago was that?
The first time I was in it was 2019.
What is that like?
It is. It's an awesome experience. I'll be honest. You know, I grew up a complete tomboy. I love being outdoors, hunting, fishing, you name it, riding horses. Never in my life thought I would do a pageant. And my mom was like, just do one for me. Just do one. Because she grew up doing pageants.
She wanted you to be a girly girl?
Well, she wanted me to do a pageant. And I was like, you know what? Maybe one of these days I'll try it. So I promised her I would do one. So it came down to it. The last preliminary competition for Miss Tennessee was happening in Greenville, Tennessee. And I thought, I'll just go try it because nobody knows me in Greenville, Tennessee. So what do I have to lose? It's the last one.
Yeah.
She's always wanted me to do, and I promised her I would. So I drove myself down there. I did it. I ended up winning.
What did you do?
So there's different parts of the competition. So there's
I mean, how'd you get in?
So you just enter. The preliminary competition, anybody can enter.
The doors are wide
The doors
open.
wide open.
Like a Shark Tank
Yeah.
or
Yep.
American Got Talent.
Yeah.
So they didn't come through and say you, and you're gone, and you're gone.
No, you just go in there and you have to do a private interview. It's like a private 12-minute interview with a panel of judges.
That's
Then-
where they mark off the ones
That's
they
what-
know are not going to make.
Right, yes. And then you have a talent portion. I played the fiddle and sang. And then you have an on-stage interview with the judges. And then you have like an evening gown portion as well. And then
you're either in or out.
and then you're either right.
How many were in it for Miss Tennessee?
There was about 30 something of them.
So you go to Greenville,
I go to Greenville.
put gas in your car, and head that way.
Yeah, by myself.
Do your 12 interviews or whatever.
Yep, all
and
that
they said,
stuff.
okay, you're one of 30.
Yep. So I won that one, and I thought.
What do you think it was? Personality, talent, or looks that
don't-
got you into the 30?
I don't know. I wish I could ask them, like, what was it? Probably my fiddle playing. Listen, when I play the fiddle, I come to life. I think maybe that won them over a little bit.
Remember that Alabama song where it says, if you're going to play remember that phrase in the Alabama song? If you're going to play, you got to have fiddle in the band.
Yeah, it's true.
What is the name? How's that song go?
I'm trying to think. I don't know. I can't. I know what you're talking about.
You know,
though.
you've heard the
I've
song.
Heard, yeah, I know what you're talking about. But
Where'd you learn to play the fiddle?
so I just, when I was 11, I decided like I just wanted to start learning how to play the fiddle. So I took lessons in Franklin.
Who else played the fiddle that you knew?
I didn't know anybody else that played the fiddle. Not in my family.
How'd you know if fiddle exists? Who played the fiddle?
Charlie Daniels was. I was listening to Charlie Daniels. My family was big on Charlie Daniels, so I was like, "Ooh, I like that."
Yeah.
So I started playing the fiddle when I was 11, and then my older brother was playing guitar, and I was like, I grew up with the mindset of, well, whatever my brother can do, I can do it 10 times better.
Yeah.
Even if I couldn't, that's what I thought.
Competition's
Yes.
good, isn't it?
Oh yeah, very competitive.
Yeah.
So I was like, I want to learn how to play the guitar too. So then I started taking guitar lessons, and then mandolin, bass. I just love music.
Can you read music?
I can't read music. That's the thing. I usually, like, what I would do is I would have my fiddle teacher like play something. Like, she would put out the music book or the charts, and she was like, okay, play this. And I said, well, would you mind, like, just playing it through so I can hear it? And so she would, and then I would act like I was reading the music, but then I would just start playing it. I could never read music.
You know where you put your fingers, how to change the tune?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's a gift, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So when you went and tried out for Miss Tennessee, what song did you play?
I play Orange Blossom Special. I love that song.
Who was the original singer of that?
Oh gosh, the original singer. I can't think of the original. Do you know who it was? The original?
No, I'm trying to think.
I know. A lot of people have covered it.
I can't think of who. Yeah, a lot of people covered that song.
Mm-hmm.
It may have been back when they didn't copyright songs.
Right.
What about Earl Scruggs and
Mm-hmm.
what's his name? Charlie. They played for the Beverly Hillbillies. They were on the scene a couple of times.
Yeah.
Rascal Flat and Earl Scruggs. Lester Flat and Earl Scruggs. Yeah. And they also played the intro to Petticoat Junction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They were really good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you think the Orange Blossom Special is the one that?
Like, got me through.
So if you were playing the fiddle, you came today with the guitar.
I did.
Have you learned to like the guitar better, or does it go along with singing better?
I think it goes along with singing better, but I love them both equally as much. But I write music on the guitar. I haven't written any songs with the fiddle.
Most of the songs you sing, have you written?
Mm-hmm.
I know you've done a few covers.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've done a few covers, but I do write a lot of songs. I started writing music when I was 14.
You do an interesting thing where you're playing in one video, but you're playing the other part in the other video, and it's side by side.
Like the split screen.
Yeah, like Guns N' Roses.
Uh-huh.
Did you do that?
Yeah. Yes, I attempted to play Guns N' Roses. Yeah. Yes.
What was that song?
Sweet Child of Mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that guy was talented, wasn't he?
Yes.
They said they found him under a bridge in Florida.
Really?
Have you heard that story?
No, I don't think I have.
Yeah, they found him and another guy under a bridge, and that was all she wrote, man.
Wow.
They were just.
That's crazy.
Do you think that talent like that is it's just a gift from God, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You can't learn it.
You can't learn that. No, it's got to be a gift from God, 100%.
When you play, do you get nervous?
That's a funny thing, because growing up, I was extremely shy, like backward shy. Like, if you tried to talk to me, I would look away, would not even...
Hide behind your parents or something? I mean,
painfully shy.
Yeah.
And then I started taking guitar lessons, and my guitar teacher said, if you're going to be one of my students, I do a showcase every year, and you're going to have to play in it. I said, okay. So I went home and told my mom, I said, I was like, I'm going to have to play in this showcase, and she goes, you mean you're going to have to get up in front of people and sing and play guitar?
Yeah.
And I said, yeah. And she goes, and you're going to do that? I said, yeah. And she goes, okay. So it came down to it, and I'll never forget, I played at a place called the Bungin' Up Pig in Franklin. And I got up there, and I just know my parents were so nervous. Because, like I said, I wouldn't even talk to people.
Was it a karaoke thing or just a...
It was just like a showcase. Everybody got up there and did one song and in front of everybody that was eating at the restaurant. So I got up there, and I wasn't as big as a minute, and I had this big, like, seafoam green guitar, hot pink furry
You play
strap.
that green guitar a lot, don't you?
I love that green guitar, yeah. I got up there, and I sang a Taylor Swift song. And I have never felt more comfortable in my life than when I was up there in front of people singing.
Do you think it's actually like putting a mask on in a weird way?
I don't even know how to describe it. For me, the more people that are out there, the more people that are watching, the easier it is for me.
So like here, where it's just me and Gwen and you, it's a little more nervous?
Yes, than if there was like a huge crowd.
You know, I can see that.
Mm-hmm. It's I don't even know how to describe it.
Let me tell you about Capstar Bank. They're located in Nashville, Hendersonville, Gallatin, Athens, Madisonville, Sweetwater, Etowah, and in Cleveland at 950 25th Street and 3855 North Ocoee Street. I've used them. I like them. Give them a try. They're no problem. I'd like to hear People Always Leave song.
All right.
And I'd like to hear the lyrics. Did you write this?
I did write this. Yep.
It's amazing.
Thank you. It's about a time in my life where people were kind of like walking out, hence the name of the song. People always leave, so maybe somebody else can relate to that too. Here we go. You said you'd stay forever, but I knew better. You got no pressure from me. Once you were my only, yeah, I was lonely, but hey, I know nothing is free. And all I really need is me. I'm not wearing my heart out on my sleeve. I'm not crying, not dying, no, I've learned not to grieve. Let's just say this is a road I already know. You won't hear my mouth ever speak your name. I'm not down in the dumps, I'm not playing your games. Let's just say this is a road I already know. At the corner of letting go. From now on I will never believe I'm letting go. Because people always leave. I still see your eyes, I hear all your lies. The way you said you love me. Once I was expecting you to jump in at some point and sing with
No,
me.
I can't. I
Maybe
can't.
do some harmony.
You can. Do you remember A Small Town Life?
Oh, I wrote that one when I was like 14. I have not played that one in a while. Did you like that one?
I like that
Did
one.
you?
Yeah. It had a good beat.
Yeah. Maybe next time.
So you wrote that song.
Mm-hmm. I did write this song. Yeah. Every song that I've recorded is one I've written. That's like my therapy. So you know how some people like journal
Yeah.
to help them like get through things. I write songs, which is kind of like the same thing, I guess. But yeah.
So I can't. You writing that song. That was really deep.
Mhm.
You were talking to the person,
Mhm.
but they weren't there,
Right. Mhm.
and that's the way you'd have talked to them had they been there.
Right. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Mhm. Yeah. I always think like, whenever I write a song and put it out there, I'm like, I wonder if the person that that the song was written about, I wonder if they'll ever hear it and know, oh, this one's about me.
Well, that goes to. Remember, who was it that You're So Vain?
Yeah.
Didn't she get offered $1 million to
Yeah.
tell who it was?
Yeah.
I don't think she
I
ever
think
did.
she did. Mm-mm. No.
I always wonder. I think I know who it's about.
Who do you think it's about?
A friend of mine.
Really?
No, he wasn't living then, but I think it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think she. What was her name?
Carly.
Carly Simon.
Yeah.
You see that video when she did it out by the ocean?
Yeah.
That live one?
Uh-huh.
Well, that was really something,
yeah.
wasn't it? I mean, it was art.
Yeah.
Do you see music as poetry and poetry as music? Do you see it as the same thing? It's just one's sung and one's written?
Yeah, I think so. I definitely would say so.
Now, some people would say that a good artist,
Mhm.
whether it be songs, paintings, or poetry, is you're supposed to not really listen deep or look at it deep. You're just supposed to let your mind sort of hear it and let it take you. Because, in other words, somebody might say, well, what was that song about? That's irrelevant.
Right.
What does that song make me think of
exactly.
is what's relevant.
Yep.
It may be a cat. It may be
Right.
a dog. It may be a situation, a particular year of my life, not necessarily a person.
No.
So you have to, a good artist doesn't make the song so overbearing that it tells a specific story, but a general story. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with every song that I've written, as long as somebody feels something from it, and can relate to it in their own way,
That's a true artist.
Yes.
I hate it when people say, what does that song mean? That's irrelevant.
Exactly.
What does that song mean?
Mean to you.
Did it, if you look at Webster's dictionary, it defines art as provokes thought. So any kind of art, if it provokes, any type of message that provokes thought is an art.
Yep.
Whether
exactly.
it's poetry, painting, or music, or just playing. Because some people can play a song, not even tell a story, and it still takes your mind to it.
Absolutely. You're so right.
One of the best is Van Morrison.
Yes.
Because you can't really understand what he's saying, but you can. But he'll take your mind to where you want to have your thinking.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But that was sort of a Melissa Etheridge. Is that her name? Melissa Etheridge. Gwen.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Melissa Etheridge. You ever heard of her?
I'm trying to think if I have. I don't know.
That has sort of a
That-
tone with her, but you also have sort of a Nora Jones thing.
Big compliment.
Yeah.
It's a big compliment.
So where are you going to go with this music, do you think? Do you think that now that you've been in it a while, is it people used to say, oh, I was discovered here, discovered there. But I don't know if it works that way anymore. Do you?
I mean, I think sometimes, but I've known a lot of people that have gotten, discovered off of social media. And
Say Kane Brown.
Kane Brown, yeah.
But perfect example.
Yes,
He's from
exactly.
what, Lakeview or Fort Oglethorpe?
Got discovered on, social media.
I heard his song on the radio this morning, and I thought, that's pretty good.
He's good.
He's really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
You say, oh, okay, now I get it.
Yeah. No, he's definitely talented, but that's how a lot of artists are getting discovered now. And I know a lot of people from social media, they don't even sign with a label. They just have a big enough following to where they can say, hey, I'm going to go play here. I'm going to go on tour for a little bit, and their fans will follow them.
Remember when artists used to say, oh, I don't tour? Now they've got to tour.
Now you've got to tour, yeah.
Because that's the only way you can really, other than, YouTube or Facebook, giving you.
Right, but you've got to have that in-person interaction, I feel like, with your fans,
You've got to have it.
You got to have it.
There's no substitute for it. Never has been. On anything.
Right. So when I go on tour, you can come with me.
I'll come with you. I'll be what do they call that? A roadie?
Yeah.
But is it more complicated than you thought it was, or less complicated, or do you know yet?
You mean like the music?
I mean being is that your goal?
I would have said that, growing up my whole life, that is what I wanted to do. And I feel like in a sense I am doing that in a way through social media. I would love to go on tour and do music full time, because that's one of my biggest passions in life. But it is a lot harder than what I thought it was going to be.
Well, I heard about you. I didn't know you prior.
Right.
And I heard about you, and through a friend of mine, and so you're getting there.
Yeah, it's all about meeting people and connect. That's with anything in life, connections. Somebody that can help and pass your music along to here, and with anything in life, it's important. So.
Now let me ask you this: what does your brother do? You said you got an older brother.
I do, yeah. So he lives in Nashville, Tennessee, and he's like a financial advisor, working towards that right now. So, yeah.
Isn't that funny? I asked you if you knew Tyler Hollis, and that's what he does.
Is it really?
Yeah. He worked for like First Tennessee or something like that. Yeah, he's like a big guy. That's why I remembered that name.
Yeah. I could be related to him somehow.
You may be.
Who knows? I don't know.
But that's funny that you said your brother was in finance.
That is funny.
Who's he work for?
UBS, United Bank.
Yeah,
Switzerland.
that's one that.
It is big.
The banker to the rich.
Yeah.
I think, right?
Yep. Yeah, so that's what he's doing. So.
So from Franklin to Nashville, how far is it?
It's about, I'd say 30 minutes. It's like right outside Nashville. So.
Is it closer to Gallatin Road, sort of, in a way?
In a way.
Yeah. It's like Franklin.
Yeah.
Gallatin's like I used to live in Gallatin.
We lived in Gallatin for a little bit too.
That's a little rough area, wasn't it?
Yeah. Were you there when the tornadoes came through?
I don't remember, but it was a little bit of a rougher area.
Yeah. Yeah, we lived on the lake over there for a little bit, and we lived there when the tornadoes came through and just wiped out.
I could see Gallatin Road from where I stayed.
Really? Okay.
So it was.
Yeah. Well, I really did enjoy like growing up in Franklin. I think, especially if you're doing music, there's a place everywhere that you can play.
Is it sort of like the bedroom community of Nashville? Did you ever go down to Nashville on like Second Street?
Yeah. You
Wild
mean like
Horse Saloon?
Play there and stuff? Yeah, I've played pretty much everywhere in Nashville. I played 1 year at, the CMA Fest. I played there. I've played Bluebird Cafe.
I used to go there when there was the Union Station. Was there a Union Station? Graham Central Station. You're probably too young.
I don't know, yeah. But I don't know. I enjoyed it. I played anywhere I got to play, but I love Cleveland. I think what I love about Cleveland is the community part of it, because you don't get that in Nashville.
Or even in Franklin?
You don't. It's too big.
Describe community to you.
So to me, community is like when I can go to the grocery store and run into people that I know and talk to them. I love that.
That'll happen.
That happens. I can't. I mean, I never go out anywhere.
You may be leaving Tri-State and the guy parking your car, you guy you've been looking.
Yeah. I mean, but yeah, and you don't get that. You never run into anybody that you know in Franklin. It's just, it's big. Now, it's a great place to, visit. It's a beautiful place. It's growing.
It's hard to go to court here without knowing the judge
Right.
real well.
Right. I know people are like, it can be a great thing and a bad thing, but
I had to go to court one day, and I probably shouldn't tell this on the air, but anyway, I'm eating breakfast with these friends of mine, and this guy was there, and anyway, we all got up and left. It was time to leave, and so I had to go to court that morning. And I go in, and there's the judge. I just left the restaurant with him.
Oh, no. Oh my goodness.
What do you do? What can you do? What was he supposed to do, or I supposed to do?
Right.
I mean, we couldn't.
No, I mean, you can't do anything in that situation.
I mean, he recused himself and said, we can't do this. So, it
Right.
was okay, but what,
Yeah. You wouldn't get that in Franklin.
You wouldn't get it in Franklin?
You wouldn't. You wouldn't get that. But I love that about Cleveland.
Do you think that family, like does extended family, it's a big help, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Like your mother's got help with the kids?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all, especially with, growing up with my little siblings, you see the very best in people, or you can see the very worst in people. There's no in between. I can tell you several instances where we would go to a restaurant in Franklin, and we would sit down, to eat, and the family next to us would request to be moved to another table.
Golly.
Because they didn't want to sit next to my little siblings, because they would make noises, and, they weren't comfortable with it. So,
how do you deal with that?
I don't know. How I deal with it is I just realize that there are nasty people out there, and the only way to change somebody's mind or heart, in that situation is just to show them, how much I love Hope and Charlie, and show our relationship and show them that there's.
That you're not embarrassed?
No, and that they're no different than we are. They're human, they have feelings too. So if I can show them that, then maybe it would, humanize them a little bit more. Because I think what it is people are just uncomfortable because they haven't maybe been around somebody with a disability, so they don't know how to act or what to say.
That's okay.
Right.
The people that get annoyed is another thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't know which one it is.
Mm-mm. No, and it's interesting because on my social media, I post videos with my little siblings, and I get so many positive feedback on videos with them. It's rare that I get a nasty comment from people, but when I do, people are like, well, do you block that person or do you remove that comment? And I always tell them no,
too much work. Plus it's another.
Right, and I look at that as an opportunity to, change that person's mind or attitude just by posting more videos of my siblings and showing them. But,
Do you feel like that? You don't feel like it's been unfair at all, right? You feel blessed about it.
I feel 100% blessed. I would not be who I am without them at all. They are the best part of me.
Do they give you drive?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. 100%. The type of love that you receive from them and that you give to them is it's a different type of love. It's like an unconditional type of love that not many people get to experience. So I feel very blessed that, God chose me to be their sister.
Yeah, he chose you to do that.
Yeah.
On the courthouse square at 30 2nd Street is the law firm of Logan Thompson Law. Since 1965, they have served the legal needs for the good citizens of Cleveland-Bradley County. If you've got a problem, they're no problem. Give them a call. No. So some of these, you don't write any poetry, right? It's just mostly songs?
Right, the songs.
And do you just come up with situations or just, I mean, like, do you listen to any Baroque music? Are you familiar with Baroque?
What do you mean by Baroque music? Like
Vivaldi or Handel or?
Not as much. Why is that?
No, I just wondered where to start from. So, do you have? Is it like Merle Haggard?
Yeah, Merle Haggard. I grew up. I pretty much, Stevie Nicks was one of my big
Stevie Nicks, yep.
inspirations growing up. Loved Stevie Nicks, Elvis, Merle Haggard, all those, Johnny Cash.
Hank Williams Jr.?
Hank Williams Jr., yeah.
Doesn't he live in Tennessee or Kentucky or Indiana? Paris, Tennessee or Paris?
I don't know exactly, but.
Do you like any rap or modern songs?
I'm not as big on rap. I mean, no, I love Southern rock. Southern rock, classic rock. Yeah, that's why I grew up.
Just Southern rock.
I love Southern rock. Yeah, Leonard Skinner, Alabama. I mean, I love that music. Yeah. You don't have that. You don't have bands like that anymore, I feel like.
No,
and it's a shame.
Chris Stapleton is close to he's close to the attitude, I want to say.
Yeah.
Have you seen him with shaven?
Shaven?
Yeah.
I have not.
Totally different. He looks like a kid.
Has he shaved his beard?
No, but when I've seen him with shaven, he's just totally different.
I don't even want to see him without
so it. I wonder if he's if these songs are just a real good, if he's, you can tell when a person's singing a song from experience, and you can tell when a person's singing it,
just to sing it.
Just to sing it.
Yeah.
So there's a whole different, I can tell the difference.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure about him, but he seems to at least have the lyrics and the voice.
Right. Yeah.
He's got a real good voice for it. He's got
great. Yeah.
He's got a Merle Haggard voice.
Yeah. He's got a great voice. But you're right. You can definitely tell the difference.
Did you listen to much Vern Godston?
I didn't.
Earl Thomas Conley? Well, you've missed out.
I know.
They're
you
really
need to
good.
write me a list of all these
really
people
good.
I need to listen to.
They're really good.
Yeah. There's a lot of great music.
Conway Twitty, I'm sure,
Yeah.
right? See, there was an old era of the Conway Twitty, the Merle Haggard, Hank Williams Jr., Johnny Cash, all of them, and they're still out. But there was a period after them, prior to who was that guy that, not George Strait, but the other guy that says, I got friends in low places. What's his name?
Oh, Lord. Not Garth
Brooks.
Brooks,
So
yes.
there's a period between country western and Garth Brooks that's a forgotten era of country songs that were really good. That people they didn't get the nostalgia for some weird reason. And I don't know why it is.
I don't know.
There wasn't any, or Keith Whitley, he had no equal.
Right.
He had no equal. And you don't even hear of him.
You don't. It's a shame.
It's a shame.
It's a shame.
Or Shenandoah.
Yeah.
That was some of those.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and what was that other, not Shenandoah, but similar to them. Letters in Red. Who wrote that? Who was that, Gwen? Anyway, they were during that era.
Yeah.
But I don't know why. Don't know why it is that some of those they just get lost and you don't play them. It makes you wonder how.
I know.
It makes you mad that people can't hear them.
I know.
But they don't care. They're not going to go listen.
No.
Just like I'm not going to go listen to Glenn Miller.
Right.
I don't even know who he is. Don't know what he sings, but I hear of his songs and I'm not interested.
Right.
So.
Yeah. I know.
But now, why do some people stay popular for years, like Elvis or Cher?
Right. Yeah.
You still hear her
another-
music.
You do.
But why is it?
I don't know. I don't know.
Is it promotions?
Maybe, or maybe they're like, maybe people just resonated with their music more than, I don't know.
I don't know either.
I wish I knew. I wish
I
knew.
just don't know. And
I don't
if
either.
you could unlock that.
Yes.
Now, they've unlocked kind of like these people that get up and do comedy specials and stuff like that, the stand-up comedians. They can kind of come up with a formula that will make people laugh and the punchline and how long to wait and stall and that sort of stuff. But they haven't come up with the reason why Hank Williams Sr. was so popular. He just lived to be 29.
Yeah.
You realize that?
Yeah.
He died at 29.
Yeah. Isn't that
And
crazy?
he sold more albums than Michael Jackson per the time. I forget the statistics. It was like per the people that bought albums, per the people that could buy. Anyway, they did some statistics that proved that he actually sold more for his era.
I didn't know
And
that.
it was
Wow.
incredible.
Wow.
And he couldn't even really sing. If you listen to his songs, I don't really know how to carry a tune, but I know he's really not in tune.
Yeah. Right.
So
People
I can't figure it out. Can you?
I don't know. I don't know. I
And
wish
it's
we could
not
figure it out.
looks. It's not looks, right?
Right. I don't know what it is.
Look
Like
at
you said,
Willie Nelson. It ain't
I
look.
know.
It's not looks.
No. And you're right. It's not necessarily just like the very best singers either. I mean,
It almost has nothing to do with that. Vern Gosdin really didn't even have a good voice.
yeah. But I'm like you. I wish we knew like what it was.
Another thing I've noticed, you take some of these artists early in their career, they're really good and people really like them. And then they start getting a little bigger and they start getting people to telling them what people want to hear and they
Yeah.
sort of start losing interest.
Losing themselves.
Like a George Jones. If you listen to his early stuff, it's a whole lot better than his older than his later stuff.
Yeah. People start influencing.
They start influencing, start tainting your what's those saying? Be yourself. Everybody else is already taken.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when I and that was another thing when I had, a record label interested in me at one point. They didn't think that I was. They wanted me to have a certain image about myself, and at this time I was only like 16 years old, and I just
You didn't know what your image was.
right, and they wanted to create a certain image that was not who I am, and so I had a problem with that. But they do start, putting their input in there and trying to, they change some of these artists
And maybe that's
and so
what it takes.
right,
I don't know.
right, yeah.
You ever heard of the Yin Yang Twins?
I haven't.
You heard of them, Gwen? Boy, they're really good. They're a group out of Atlanta,
Really?
and they just absolutely refuse to go with the norm.
Yeah.
And boy, they've got some good music. And I always wondered what would happen if they tried to.
did.
So I don't know maybe it's just all goes down to advertising.
I don't know. I mean, I think that's a big part of it. I definitely think that, but I have no idea, really. It's crazy.
What was it? One band I remember that was trying to get people to listen to them, and they wouldn't. So they had a show, and they advertised free beer, and so people came, and then they took off after they finally got people to listen.
Oh my goodness.
So.
Hey, sometimes you gotta do what it takes.
I don't know what the answer is.
Neither.
But you're trying to find it, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to find it, and I think like back to like my social media and having that following. I think sometimes I think when you're just being yourself and people get a sense of like somebody who's real, and I think a lot of people resonate with that. So maybe some people that have made a big name for themselves, maybe they're just people like them because they are who they are.
Maybe you go out and throw eggs at cars. Isn't that what Justin Bieber did or
Justin
something?
Bieber, I don't know. Oh Lordy, I can't be doing that.
Remember when on the Beverly Hillbillies they're trying to get Jed Clampett?
Yeah.
They're trying to get Jethro to be a star, and they were advertising him.
Yep, I do remember that. That was a great show. I love that show.
I don't know what the answer is. Now, have you ever thought about getting a producer or a PR representative?
Yeah.
Or such a thing?
Yeah, I like a management kind of. Yeah, and I've had some management companies interested. I've talked to a few. Mm-hmm. So maybe like at some point I may end up doing that if it gets too much. But right now, or what I've been doing has been working for me. So I think, but maybe at some point I might go down that route.
But you're going to do whatever you're trying, mm-hmm. right?
Oh, yeah.
That's the route you're going.
Yeah, that's the route I'm going. Yep. That's the route I'm going, so there's no turning back now.
Now, one of your songs was what? Kiss My Southern Sass? Is that right?
Kiss My Southern Sass, yep.
Can you play that one?
I can play that one.
Play that one.
All right. Well,
if you don't mind.
I don't mind. As long as you sing it with me.
I can't sing. I can't carry a tune. I can't. Only thing I can play is the radio.
Hey, that's something, though.
I really enjoy you coming. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
You're more popular than this show.
Oh, my goodness. I don't believe that. All right. You tell me when you're ready. Let her rip. Okay, here we go.